I mean, you want me to be honest? You're going to try to launch something in a platform where you've not been for 6 months. You're not going to get any sales. Period.
Well,
Sorry.
yeah.
It's Coffee Social, the podcast all about social media and business. And now, here are your hosts, Jonathan Howard and Mimi Langley.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Jonathan Howard.
Hello, Mimi Langley.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Look, I brought back my Taylor Swift mug.
Of course, because now the holidays is pretty much over.
I know. So here we go. Fa la la. I don't know why I wanted to say that, but I did. What are you drinking?
One last time. I am drinking my cold brew, but I was having this morning, so instead of my ice cube in it, I threw some cold brew ice cream in it.
That's right. You like cold brew ice cream. I don't like coffee ice cream. I can't.
Well, when it goes in your coffee,
I guess.
delicious.
It is in there.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, before we jump into today, we're kind of wrapping up. I mean, we are wrapping up this series about content. And I think we're probably in February at this point, because I know, a lot of you guys know we record ahead of time.
Yep.
But I want to talk to you. I don't think we ever talked about resolutions.
Mm-hmm. I don't think we did either.
Did you make any for 2025?
No.
Why not, sir?
I don't do resolutions because resolutions are very easy they're gone by February. Most people are done with their resolutions by the time this is airing. And
No.
Are you done with your resolution?
No, I feel like people don't drop off this soon.
Yes, they do.
I feel like it's more like a May, June thing.
Come on. Who makes it to May? I want to know in the comments of this episode who makes it till May with their New Year's resolution. Nobody. Nobody makes it till May.
I think it depends on what the resolution is too, because sometimes, like for me, I usually have 10, like my top 10 things I want to do this year.
That's too many goals.
Like read 10 books. Do you know what I mean? So that's going to take me longer than a month.
But then at the end of the year, when you've read one book,
Shut up.
you dropped off your New Year's resolution in January. Come on.
You're so funny. You're like, well, when you reflect, you've read the one book, but really it was a magazine article. So
right. So there you go. You didn't really do any of that resolution. So I don't believe in doing the resolutions. I do believe in setting goals, realistic goals for yourself, and actually then breaking down those goals. Like we tell people all the time, like, what are you going to do this month to actually reach the goal? And having actual things that you can do towards it. Is it a resolution? Sort of.
It
Not
is.
really. Not really.
It's kind of blended because a resolution is technically like a goal, or like at least you're manifesting something for yourself.
Yeah.
But we just don't have the action steps.
We don't put the action behind it, which is also, by the way, people, part of manifesting, as you probably remember from our YoFit episode.
Yes.
But still, I'm not a big New Year's. It's to me, especially New Year's Eve, it's same shit, different day. It's a different year.
Oh my gosh, we are so different. I have my New Year's Eve socks. Like it's a whole thing. I watch the ball drop. Like it's like a whole, it's a reset, a real reset.
Why?
Because it's
I
a
could
new
say
year.
It's 2 years later or 2 days later.
No,
Why not start in December?
No, someone back me up on this, please. Can we get a caller? Somebody call in, please.
Can we have a call in? We record the in advance, but we need a call in on this one.
Okay, well, today we're going to be talking about, to wrap up the content series.
What was one of your New Year's resolutions, and have you dropped off of it yet?
So, one of them is to read 10 books. That's why I brought that up.
And have you read your January book yet?
No, not yet. But let me tell you, I'm prepared, right? Like I picked out the book that I want to read first. So we are making small steps, right?
All right.
So, but I refuse, like during the holidays, I was like, should I get a Kindle? Should I read a physical book? Because I love going to the bookstore and getting books. And I know a lot of people do. I just don't think I can read off of a digital. Like I can't read off a screen. Like I need a book. Like
it's
a physical
not the same. Yeah. And like I told you, I tend to read while listening to the book. So that is what works really well for me. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's funny how we all have our own little setup, even with reading. But yeah, so it hasn't been done yet, but it is one that's on my list.
It's on her list.
Yeah. I think it will make me smarter.
It will. Reading is a great way to educate yourself. Absolutely.
Yes.
But, we'll see how it goes. 10 books.
You better be my cheerleader. Don't tell me I failed already. All right.
Did you
Check in
fail
with me in
already?
like July or August, please. Don't check in with me tomorrow. Thank you. Okay, Jonathan.
Yes, let's jump into it.
I'm sad because it's our last one of the series, but I think it's a really, really important one because I think a lot of us do this. And if you could tell by the title, you might, we're talking about coming back to a social media platform that you may have abandoned, right? Like you may have taken months or even years and really built up your presence on this particular social media platform. And then it just kind of fell flat and you kind of jumped ship and went somewhere else. And now you're thinking, I might return to that social media platform. So we're going to talk about returning, like how to return to a social media platform. I mean, we have Jonathan Howard, who's a social media strategist. So I'm sure he's going to talk a lot about how you can do this and it won't overwhelm you. You can come back, But before we do, you want to tell them who you are?
Yeah, my name is Jonathan Howard, owner of Success on Social, and I help successful coaches reach their ideal clients on social media by developing their signature style so they can reach their people and change the world. Over to you, Mimi.
Can I just say hi, I'm Mimi Langley, and I want to help change the world?
Sure.
Okay, because I'm like, I want to, since we're in the new year, I want to have something new to share, like a new intro. I just don't have it yet. But normally
I don't have it yet.
I teach about audio marketing, so utilizing social audio and audio only events to grow your business. But yeah, I feel like I want to change it up a little bit.
And she's the co-host of the Coffee Social podcast.
I know. I need to add that in, and so
well,
many
you don't
more
need
things.
to add it in here. We know that, obviously, but
Keep it under 10 seconds. That's really my goal.
there we go.
Okay, Jonathan. So let's dive into it. Let's use the example of Instagram. Oh my gosh, he's actually diving. If you're on YouTube watching the YouTube video,
That wasn't a very good dive.
that
but
was
yeah.
well. Wait, can you do like the walking down the stairs? Can you do it at the end?
Yeah, I'll do it at the end. Go.
I can never get that down. But let's say, for example, because I get this a lot with like Clubhouse. People are always coming and going to Clubhouse, and they always ask me, Mimi, I want to start my rooms back up again. How do I come back, to Clubhouse? But I want to ask you, Jonathan, I mean, you could answer that question if you want to, but let's just use the example of Instagram, since that's like your number one platform of choice and you teach about it. Like, let's say I was really like on the reels when reels were really hot. I was all over it. I really grew my following. And then kind of my reels, they like slowed down. And so I slowed down and I kind of went somewhere else. But now I want to come back because Instagram is really, now that TikTok might be banned in the US, or it could have been already banned by the time this is airing, I got to come back to Instagram if I want to do short form video. So how do I return?
You come back and you return and you start posting.
But is there something I need to do?
No. There's not something you need to do. And a lot of people get this misconception, like they have to go on a long explanation of why they were gone. And your audience doesn't care. If your audience liked the content you were putting out, then start putting out the content that they liked. So I would maybe review my analytics and see what was performing well when I left. It may have changed by now, but going in and looking at what did perform well when you left and creating some of that, or maybe going back like a year ago and reposting some of your best performing content to feel out if that's still the way that Instagram is wanting content, and seeing how that performs. But you just come back. Honestly, people make it a really big deal. And the truth is, the audience that wanted to hear from you and still wants to hear from you will stick around. And the audience that didn't want to hear from you, or you're no longer for them, they'll leave. And if they start seeing your content showing up again and they don't like it, they'll unfollow. And that's normal. And the other thing that Instagram does is it will tell people, like I get a report whenever I click on my following, or is it my following? Yeah. And it shows me inactive accounts. And I can decide whether I want to remove them from my following or from my followers. And I can remove them from my followers because if they're inactive, they're not going to be engaging in my content. So already, there's going to be people that got rid of you. They're not following you. They cleaned up their Instagram. That's fine. Just come back and start posting. And then paying attention to what's working now on the platform. And I think that's a big difference for a lot of people because it depends on the platform. I'll tell you, I came back to LinkedIn.
Yes, you did. I think I had a little bit of inspiration for you.
I hated LinkedIn. I still dislike LinkedIn. But there was an opportunity for me to go back and start posting regularly on there. And when I did that, I was under the impression that LinkedIn hadn't changed, which is an incorrect impression. Now, it's still a little stodgier and stuck up than where I am on Instagram and my space in Instagram.
Yeah.
However, that doesn't mean that I just, I can post some of my content over there, and I post my newsletters over there weekly, and, creating content over there. So there's something that's me being represented, because it is more of a creator platform, less of a B2B platform. So understanding those changes is important.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I think that, especially, it depends on how long you've been away from the platform. If it's been a year or 2 years, even for me, going back to YouTube, like I need to see what's going on now, especially in my niche. Like, are people still doing day in the lives? Like, is it still working for people? But also don't be afraid to create content that you enjoy creating. You always say that too, Jonathan.
Right. Create what you love to create. And I always tell people when they're creating their signature style, they should have one that they absolutely love creating and one that their audience absolutely loves consuming. Those should be the two core types of content you create, but obviously you'll need some other things. Mm-hmm. But that kind of balances out the hate of creating content for people. But yeah, that's what I would recommend and understand in that situation. It was weird. My computer just unlocked, except I didn't move any closer to it. And I got
Okay, so real quick, and I love that answer. I think that's give yourself permission to just dive back in and don't make it too overwhelming don't complicate the process. Just go and continue doing what you do.
Yeah,
exactly. I think also check in with yourself. It's always a good idea. First of all, why did you leave? Address these questions. Why did I even leave the platform to begin with? Where I am, how much can I give right now? If I am going to come back, I would much rather come back and actually come back and not come back and then leave a week later because I'm like, no, this is not going to work. I don't want to keep doing that to my community.
Yeah. And when we go back to the content planning episode, I said, establish your consistency. The same applies here. Figure out how often you can post, how often you can post on this platform at this time. And then you've got to stay consistent. Let your audience, I always tell people, let your audience know, I'm planning on posting 3 days a week. You can come and see that, here you post in your stories or wherever. So your audience holds you accountable and you feel accountable to them.
Yeah.
Because that's going to help you actually do it. The other thing is, if you were posting on another platform and you are coming back to a platform that you abandoned for a little while, more than likely the content that you posted on the other platform can in some way help you build the content for this platform.
Yes.
So look at what you can do and just repurpose it. And then you've got months of content that you could probably use and remain consistent. Get ahead of the game. Post and plan out ahead of the time. Even on LinkedIn, I can schedule posts months in advance, 3 months in advance. So just get them in there. Write your newsletter articles, all that stuff. Do it in advance because you already have the content ideas.
Yeah, and it will be a much faster and smoother process for you.
Yep.
And it'll be, again, less overwhelming. I was also thinking this could work too for your email list. A lot of people even hesitate to even start an email list because they don't know if they have the capacity. They don't know what they're supposed to be writing. But honestly, you guys, you can do the email list. You can write to okay, this is what I always tell people. I'm not an email marketer by any means, but this has worked for me. When I wanted to grow my email list, I had a lead magnet. Did I have a customer journey sequence set up? No, I did not. Did that hurt me? Probably it did in the beginning. But let me tell you, people got the lead magnet. And then I didn't reach out to my customers until 3 months later, Jonathan.
Yeah.
But it worked because when I reached out, I basically just told them who I was again. And this is through email. I don't know if you necessarily have to do this on other socials.
Your bio should do that for them. But email, you do need to do that.
Just be like, hey, you signed up for my blah, blah, blah. This is what I do. This is what I've been up to, or whatever, however you want to word it. You do that. You talk about that too for Instagram Reels, how to do a introduction video every once in a while. Yeah.
Yep. Every few months. Absolutely.
That might be good to kind of get yourself back into that platform that you're choosing to return on, is do an intro video. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to make
Say
yourself
hi.
feel
This
better.
is what I do. This is who I help. All that stuff. So, yes.
Other thing too is, do you think it's appropriate? Well, I don't know if you want to use the word appropriate, but do you feel like when I come back to a platform, let's say it's even Clubhouse or I don't even know. We use LinkedIn Threads. No, I'm just kidding. I know you love Threads. But do you think it's appropriate to like DM people, like DM your regular, like your top fan base? And be like, hey, I'm back on blah, blah.
I would wait, add value, connect with them, wait for them to respond to a story. You know, like just add the value first before you start getting into the DMs, because DMs are personal and people don't want to be bothered by somebody that's just marketing to them and personally. So you don't want to be accused of doing that. I would wait on DMs.
Okay.
I mean, if you're launching a product and you're coming back, you kind of got to get people quick, maybe, but that's still a little tacky. No, it's a lot tacky. I wouldn't do it, but
yeah,
do what you want to do.
If you're coming back just to launch,
it doesn't look good.
Okay, so you would recommend, like, if I know I'm going to launch in March, at least try to make some movement in February to make it kind of
January, or
like,
never have
make
left.
it look like it's organically flowing. Like I'm not just here because my launch is happening. Okay,
right. Or January, or never leave. I'm just saying.
Oh, let's talk about that for a second. Go ahead. I know that you feel
well.
Like, tell them about the omnipresence and all that too. Yeah.
Well, omnipresence is dumb. As a solopreneur, you can't be omnipresent. It's just not possible because you're one person. Now, if you have a team, sure, you've got content that you could place across platforms, but stop stretching yourself to be omnipresent as a solopreneur. When you're able to get the team, then sure, work on omnipresence, do that, and you can maybe do it. But don't worry about it now. Figure out what 2 platforms you can kill right now and do those 2 platforms. Claim your name across all the platforms, but kill those 2 platforms and wait on the rest. Otherwise, you are going to keel over and die doing social media. It's not your full-time job. It's not your full-time job. It's my full-time job. And I know what it takes to actually do it.
Yeah, it's a lot.
A lot.
It's full time.
Yeah, times 2.
Oh my goodness. Well, is there anything else that you want to add in as far as returning?
I don't want to overwhelm them.
I think we're good. I mean, I think we
good.
It seems, now that we've done this episode, it seems very like a very simple process. It really is about just pushing past your own limiting beliefs and ways and you're literally having an internal conversation with yourself, telling you that it has to be this big production when you make your return. Like that's how I am anyways.
Right. And you're going through and saying, I need to make sure I have these perfect posts and this perfect sequence of things that are going to happen. And they're all leading to this one thing. And then they're going to all buy it because they love me. And that's not how any of it works. Any of it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you have it, folks.
I mean, you want me to be honest, you're going to try to launch something in a platform where you've not been for 3-6 months. You're not going to get any sales, period.
Well,
Sorry.
Yeah, and we want it to be bigger than the launch. I mean, obviously, at the end of the day, we have to make money as business, but it is about relationships, and we want to show up real, So, anywho, we hope this inspired you guys. If you are thinking about returning to an old platform you used to be on in 2025, hopefully this, gives you a little bit of guidance.
And you just do it.
See, Nike, they just trademark it all.
I know.
That trademark, it just works for everything.
Everything. It's a story. It's a story for every. It's a story for everything. Just do it.
Don't rob a bank.
Just do it.
Oh my God. All right, Jonathan, you want to go ahead and tell the people?
Of course. If they haven't already, please go over to any platform where you listen to our podcast and give us a rating. Let us know what you think. And the rating should be a 5 because Mimi doesn't like it when we don't get 5s. But I'm not allowed to tell you that it should be a 5 because, well, that would be me asking for a specific rating and then they don't like that and then they'll cancel us. And then, So Mimi wants, so make sure you give her 5 stars. And with that, Mimi, where else can they find us?
Oh my gosh, we're all over the place. We're on Instagram, we're on YouTube if you want to watch us versus listening to us. And on Spotify and Apple, you can rate. On Apple, you can leave a review. So it's nice.
On Apple, we can now add the video version on a separate feed. Did you know that? Also,
on Apple too?
Videos,
I thought it was Spotify.
And videos on Spotify, yep.
Oh my goodness. They're just like, more.
Everybody wants a video. Video.
Whew.
Yep.
Okay, well, I want to end this with the most boring question of them all, but it's not are you team blank or team blank? It's just a general question. Just to
What, we're not team resolution, team not resolution? Dang it.
Though. Okay, let's do that one too.
Okay. No, what's your question?
Because we want to know. Well, my question is, and this could be a really good chatter or clubhouse room, what makes you stay on a specific social media platform?
Ooh, that is a good question. I want to know the
You
answer
should
to
host
that.
that room.
I might have to.
Just give me
That's
a shout
a really
out. That's
good
all
question.
I ask. Or else you'll hear from my
Well,
lawyer.
you'll have to be there. So I
No,
like
but
that.
really,
What makes you stay on a platform? One thing.
If it's content that I enjoy creating, I have to enjoy creating it. So
I would say content as well for me, but if I have to be different, community.
ooh. Like your people are there, so you're going
My
to be
people
there.
are there.
Yeah.
My people like it there, and there's a feeling like you can build a community on the platform.
Yeah, I like that. Well, you should be on Threads. Okay, let's end the episode.
All right. Well, Mimi, you know how to end the episode.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't like Threads. I'm just making fun of him right now at this point.
I know.
Thank you, everyone, for listening and watching. And we really appreciate you guys. And cheers to creating amazing content this year that you love and that your people love. And yeah. And cheers to growth, man. Grow mentally, grow that business, grow that money, all of it. Opportunity. Look at that. Okay. Cheers, Jonathan.
Cheers, Mimi
Bye,
Langley.
everyone. Bye, Jonathan Howard.
Bye, Mimi Langley.